us via our resource hotline or via myself. But Tara, I will pass the floor over to you.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I will be talking about some of the features, the vision features that I personally use on my iPhone and the iPad. And I am sure I will learn from you as much as, so it will be an exchange of information and ideas about that. I will share the screen with you now to show you some of the features that I use on the iPhone. And then some of these features, because I am on a Zoom call now, so you will not be able to hear them. That's why I will use the same features on the iPad later on. And then I will show you one of the apps that I usually use also that are very helpful. So I will share the screen now and hopefully it will work. Can you see the screen now? Is it working?
Looks great.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I went to settings, and in settings, we scroll down until I reach display and brightness. We have two options for the background. Many people would prefer the dark option, but again, it's just a personal preference. This is the dark if it's easier for you to see. For me, I'd rather use the bright one. With brightness, again, you have the slider and you can make it as bright as you want or as dim as you want. Again, one of the things also that I use is the text size. Mine is about 70%. And again, there's a slider in the bottom of the screen and you can make it 100%. But if you make it too big, then it will be a problem to see a lot on the screen. So again, this is a personal preference. Mine is about 70 to 75. Bold text, again, just to make it crisper and you can see it better. And the view is zoomed. So everything on my screen is zoomed. Now we go back to accessibility, again, under settings. And under vision, I will leave voiceover for now because what we're talking about is mainly for people with low vision. And if we press on zoom, mine is zoomed. And in this case, you can use your fingers to zoom in and out. In order to make the screen zoomed in, you use your 3 fingers and double tap. Makes it big, and then 3 fingers and you zoom out. So again, there is the zoom controller, which I think it needs a session on its own because but I will just show you what it is. If I make it green, you have something like, it looks like a wheel. With this wheel, instead of using your 3 fingers, you can double tap on the wheel itself to zoom, and then double tap on the wheel to zoom out. Or you can even change the grayscale or the color scale. You can do many things through this wheel, which is called the controller. But I will turn it off now so it wouldn't distract us while we are talking about other features. The zoom region, again, it's a personal preference. I would like to have the full screen zoomed. Some people would like only to have a window, as if you are holding a handheld magnifier. For me, even on the computer, I always prefer the full screen. I don't like the bar or just like a window magnifier. And again, you have the slider. Mine is on 6.8 X's. It's like having a magnifier and you just, how many X's you want your magnifier to be. So now it's 7.5. Again, it's a personal preference. And this will show when you are zooming in. Then you will feel how large everything is. For instance, let me put it on more than 6.8. Now it's 10.8, and I will zoom in with my 3 fingers and double tap. So it's really big.
Mhm.
I will zoom out and bring it back to 6.8 because this is the most comfortable for me. Again, everything is personal preference, whatever you feel comfortable with. And now we will, after zoom, we will go to display and text size. For me, bold text is a must. Large text is on. And again, like large text would show on the apps you are using. Within the apps, this is where the text is. When you're sending a text or email, the large text would show then. I have it on almost 80%. And again, you can play around with it and make it as small as that or big. So whatever you feel comfortable with. Button shapes, some of these are like they were just like that. So I haven't changed the things that I'm not sure about. Reducing transparency, again, this is something when sometimes the image is blurred or there's something blurredness, it makes it less, which is also good. And for me, I can see better when it's high contrast. So my increased contrast is also green. It's enabled. Differentiate without color is mainly for people who are colorblind. I'm not, but I just left it as it is. Smart Invert would change the black and white. And again, it's a personal preference. For me, I cannot see it well when it's white on black. So I don't use it. Smart Invert is better than Classic Invert. With Classic Invert, sometimes when you have black writing on black background, I mean, you wouldn't be able to see it. Smart Invert would detect these things. So it's better to use Smart Invert than Classic Invert in such cases. Auto brightness is good. Like for instance, if you are in a bright room and then you go to your closet and you're using your phone, the brightness on the screen changes automatically, which is quite useful. So this is one of the things, like this was under display and text size that we talked about. Spoken content. I will talk more about spoken content when I show you the iPad, because with using Zoom, you will not be able to hear when it's talking. But for me, I have like the speak selection, it's on. The speak screen is on. The speech controller, I have made it off, but I will just make it on so you know what it is. It is like a ruler, and it shows you the play and pause button and even like the rate of the speech, how quick it is. Now I have it on 1 times, which is just the regular speed of speaking. But I will show you that on the iPad later on. Sorry. And now I will get rid of this and do it like that. The highlight content on, again, it shows when it's reading something for you, and it highlights where it's reading. And you can choose the color of the space where it's being read to. So as if you're highlighting with a like yellow highlighter, a blue highlighter, it's the same thing. It does the same thing for you. And I have chosen that I wanted to highlight the words and the sentences for me when it's reading it. I don't want it to underline it. I would prefer it to be highlighted. So I chose the background color and not the underline. Again, all these are personal preferences. Whatever your eyes feel more comfortable with, you can choose that. What others have I chosen? So these are mainly the accessibility features that I have. I mean, I have the audio description off because I don't want it to describe everything that it sees on the screen. Now we will go to the most important app on the iPhone, especially iPhone 10 and the ones after it, which is the magnifier. So as if you are using an electronic magnifier, this is how it works. I have a book now, and it's like 8 points. It's the back of the book. I would just show you how big it can go, and I'll make it smaller. So this is the actual size. And we can just use it as much as we want until it's comfortable for us to see. With that, we can also change the brightness and also the contrast, again, as much as we want to, and the inverted colors. So maybe for some people, they prefer whatever color they want, whichever is more comfortable for your eyes. All these things are personal preferences. And as if you're holding a handheld magnifier, it also has a light with it. So now the light is on, if you like to have the light on or off. So this is the magnifier on the iPhone, and the same thing is available on the iPad as well, which we can use. Now I will show you some things that we use on the iPad. So just 1 second, I will stop sharing my screen. Sorry. And take the earphones off. Okay, so now this is my iPad. Can you all see it?
Yes.
Okay. I will open a Word document. And this is the speak controller that I showed you on the iPhone. And I will press on play.
iPhone Accessibility 2020. Apple Products Accessibility Features. In many of our pockets, we have a device with...
I don't know if it was clear and you were able to hear it.
Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So you can use this to read anything for you. A Word document, an email, anything which is hard for you to see, you can do that. Now I want to show you another thing, which is Siri, which is like, Siri is your personal assistant. You don't only use it to know what the weather's like or other things. You can use Siri to send emails. For instance, I will send an email to Sean now and see what it will do. Send email to scurry@youreyes.org.
What's the subject of the email?
Test.
Okay. What would you like the email to say?
Hi, Sean.
Okay. Here's your email message to us. Are you ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll send it.
So, Sean, please let us know when you get the email. I hope he gets it. Sometimes Siri can disappoint as well. And now I will show you an app that is very handy to use as well. It's called Seeing AI.
Got it.
Got it? Okay, good. With Seeing AI, let me do that. We can use it to read short documents, or even tell us, like if we have a can and we want to know what the can is and other things. So again, I will show you, I'm taking the same book, which is very small. Okay, I have to put the iPhone here so I can, we have.
Document, top left corner not visible. Hold steady. Processing.
And then.
Indy Sykes, the lead architect for a Los Angeles architectural firm, has been hired to design a massive building in the heart of Dubai, renowned for his expertise in AI.
Hey, Tara,
So,
can you explain what you did because it blacked out?
Yes, I mean, I thought because, just 1 second, I'll do that again. I'm just trying to find a way to hold the phone. Okay.
Bottom edge not visible.
So what I need.
Hold steady. Processing.
So it took a picture of the book or what's written on the book. And it will, I mean, we have the play and pause button here.
Nazan Osman lives in Portland, Oregon. This is his first novel, ISBN 970.
So it took a picture of that part of the book and it reads it for you. For instance, here we have a can. I'll take the other one because I want to show you when it works and when it doesn't work. So this is a can. I'll use the app to read for us what this can is. So we go to products. Let me, okay.
Product.
It's looking for it. It's very hard to hold the iPad, the iPhone, and the product. But we'll try. Ouch. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm trying to control the three of them.
Un's 100% natural tomato paste.
I'm sorry about that. It wasn't easy to see it on the iPhone from the screen, but it can read it for you. It can read, if you could just put the bar and it reads the bar for you. It does the same with, I'll just change that. Okay, so it does the same with reading notes, money notes. And like I have a $5 note and it can read it for you. But unfortunately, I can't hold the three of them together at the same time. I should have asked my husband's assistance, but I forgot. Anyway, so this is one of the apps that is very useful, again, to have on your iPhone. I will leave it now for questions and answers, and we can go into details later on.
And to unmute yourself, it's Alt plus A, the Alt button plus the letter A. There's also a button at the bottom left.
What was the name of the last app that you were using on the iPad? And can you also download it to the iPhone?
Yes, I have it on my iPhone.
What is the name of it?
Seeing AI.
What is it?
Seeing AI. Seeing AI.
And Tara, I just added it to the chat.
Okay.
It seems to me that the emailing function is very difficult because you have to know the email address of the recipient. Now, you know the person you sent it to, but I purposely do not remember email addresses except my own because it's on my email directory. So if I want to do an email and I have my iPhone, I go to the place where I can compose an email, and I compose it. I send it. Now, if I'm
Yeah.
not at home,
Mhm.
I cannot send it, but I can put it into the draft file. And then when I do have an internet connection, I just send it at that point.
What you can do, if the email is part of your contact, it can detect it. For instance, I mean, I don't have Sean's email in my contact list, but if I have him, I don't need to spell out his email. I can just say, send email to Sean Curry. I don't need to spell out the email. So it needs to be saved in the contacts first. By this, you don't need to spell it out.
I have a question. I'm confused about the apps. Before you went to Seeing AI, you had another app. It was in the upper left-hand corner, and you said it was to look at all kinds of materials, Word and so forth. What was that?
This was the Seeing AI. This was the one.
Seeing AI or
Yes.
Sync?
Seeing AI. This was Seeing AI. I will show you just 1 second. I'll show you how it looks like, so you would know what I'm talking about. Just 1 second.
There was one before that, though.
No, I mean, this is my Word document. I had only opened a Word document,
I see.
and I used the accessibility feature, which I showed you on the iPhone. It's the same thing you have on the iPad. So this is not a standalone app. It is one of the accessibility features. It's called spoken content.
I use that, yes.
Yeah.
But the spoken content does not pick up everything.
It doesn't. When it's an image, it doesn't pick it up. No,
Right.
it doesn't pick up everything. This is the Seeing AI app. This is how it looks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
How do you get the magnifier on your iPhone? I don't have it automatically.
Okay, I will share the screen again. Yeah, it doesn't show automatically, especially in, what's your iPhone?
Sorry, I had muted it again.
Which kind is your iPhone?
The SE.
Okay, so what you need to do is, I'll just share the screen again.
Is it an iPhone? What like number is it?
I think it just goes by SE. I think it's between a 6 and a 7.
Oh, then
Oh, okay. It might
yeah,
be
this is the
magnifier app then.
problem. This is the problem, yeah. Because if you go to search in the widgets and just type magnifier, it comes up. But I don't think in SC, I don't think it's available. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
I believe SE is between 11 and 12.
No, definitely
No, I think it's
Well,
6.
Mine is.
not the one I have.
Well, there's a second one, SE2. That's what I'm have.
Oh, that's good to
yeah.
know. Thank you.
So Tara, we actually had this at the center on Friday. Someone had the same iPhone. So what you can do is look up what's called the magnifier app, which is going to be in your app store. So like where you would get Seeing AI, and see if you're able to download it from there.
Thank you.
It's
I
going to
don't
be,
think it will have the same features, but it is
yeah,
close.
it's similar. It probably isn't quite as good. It doesn't have as many of the different color backgrounds and contrast filters, but it works to magnify things.
Thank you.
Hey, Tara, this is Sri.
Hi, Sri.
I just wanted to say the comment about when you used Siri to send the email to Sean.
Yeah.
the gentleman asked about, not having to understand the email address. For me, like Tara said, if it's under your contacts, and for example, I have 2 Taras. So I said, send email to Tara. VoiceOver is gonna tell you, do you want to send it to Tara 1 or Tara 2? And you can say, send it to Tara 2.
Mhm.
And you can also use some special keywords, like the example that you gave to send an email. You can also use keywords such as edit. If you say, send message to Sean and Siri responds back, hello, or I think you said test.
Mhm.
If you say edit, it's going to remove and start all over. Or you can use the word add to it. So if you send an email with Siri and you want to add something to it, you can say add to it and allow you to add additional information before the email gets sent. So those are two keywords, edit, add to it, that you can use.
That's
Thank you.
great. Does that work on messages too, texts?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have another question. You were talking initially about making the text size too big, that sometimes it's too big to read. What is the difference in the function between making the text size big and going to Zoom, using Zoom?
I think Zoom makes everything big, like even the icons, everything becomes big. With the text size, it's only the writing that becomes big.
But they essentially do the same thing. It's not a difference in the way it's presented.
Zoom is icon plus writing. Text size is only writing.
I'm sorry, what did you say before that?
Like even the icons, you have the pictures of the apps, everything gets big with Zoom.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Tara, this is Sri again.
Okay, Shri.
I just also want to let people know that the newest version of the iOS operating system, there is a bug that you can't ask Siri to open accessibility. It won't open it now. So you're going to have to go the old-fashioned way of going to settings and then swipe right till you get to accessibility.
Is that the 15? Which
Yeah, right. I'm running 15.2.1 now. And I believe it wasn't working in 15.2 also. I'm not exactly sure. I just noticed it when I try to open accessibility. If you ask Siri to open accessibility now, it's going to open up settings general instead.
Okay. I didn't update now to 2.1 for some reason. I just saw the update today and didn't do it yet. Shri, is there anything you can add about the spoken content? I mean, I know you use VoiceOver, but anything else you think people would benefit from?
From a low vision, one thing you covered about the high contrast and the classic contrast, and there is a new feature on accessibility. If you swipe all the way down to the bottom, there is a new feature called Fade. And this is where it allows you to custom configure, because right now, if you do classic invert, everything is classic. Everything converts from gray and white. But if you swipe all the way down to the fade, or the last one, you can customize. So you can have classic invert on one particular app, and you can have the invert color in a different app. So you can customize an app how you want it to look. And there's more than just the inversion. You can customize how you want it to look. So if you have, like, I don't have any vision, so I'm using VoiceOver, but with that, you can definitely customize how you want it to look. Like kind of things that Tara was describing, how the color contrast, you can customize the color contrast. You can have one app be this color and another app be a different color. So you can really customize, and that was new in iOS 15.
Thank you, Shreya. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I will try it out.
And one other thing I wanted to make, someone asked a question about using voiceover and using the zoom feature. So just keep in mind that if you have both of those turned on, the 3-finger double tap is what zooms in and out. And everything with voiceover, it adds one. So you do a 3-finger triple tap to turn off voiceover speech, 3-finger quadruple tap to turn the screen curtain on, and 3-finger tapping 5 times does copy the clipboard. So that's the difference between having Zoom and voiceover on at the same time.
Oh, that's right.
It's always better to disable Zoom when using voiceover. It's less complicated.
That is correct. But thank you. I learned a lot about low vision. This is good for me too. So thank you.
Thank you, Shri. I always learn something new from you too. Sean, is there anything else you would like to add if there are no more questions?
I don't have anything else. Does anybody have any questions, any more questions before we wrap up today? Or Tara, do you have anything else? I think we covered it.
If anyone would like to know more about the accessibility features or want to try it out, like on their iPads or iPhone, just give me a call at the center and we can go through it together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think if there's no other questions, we can wrap up today. Thank you everyone for joining. Tara, thank you so much for presenting as well. This was really great. And again, we'll be posting this on our website here in the next couple days. So just stay tuned. Be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, I hope to see folks on Saturday at our event, 10 a.m. For Glaucoma Awareness Month. And have yourself a great week.